tell the here and now. Present the case somehow and open up their lines. There is no growing in knowing where you're going What do you do when the magic's gone? What do you do when the magic's gone away? There is an idea, I'm gonna reach for it. There is an idea, I'm gonna try.
Yes.
Yay!
Ooh.
Woo! Thank you, Craig.
Ooh. Ooh.
Ooh!
You just listened to No Growing by Olivia Trimmer Control.
Olivia Tremor Control.
The
Is that an
Olivia...
Earthquake Company?
That was epic.
No, it's a band. Cringe
It's a
Lord.
band? That's pretty sick. Do they cause earthquakes?
I don't know.
Because of their rockin' jammin' tunes?
Quit acting like a dad.
Neutral Milk
Hotel. What's that?
That was pretty epic, wasn't it?
You can stay.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to Lost in Translation.
Welcome back. I'm DJ BlootScoot. Here with...
I'm DJ Gothunk.
And I'm DJ GeenLeen.
Gothunk?
Gothunk.
No.
That's what people would call me
Gothunk.
online. Well, I always like got hunk, and I was like, okay, no one will mess this up, and then people would always be like,
Gothunk.
it's Gothunk. Gothunk sus.
Gothunk.
Gothunk sus.
Gothunk.
I would think that Gothunk is a little popular than Gothunk.
I like Gothunk. I think you should have thunked of a little bit more about your name.
I mean, probably. I didn't really choose it. It just sort of stuck. I kind of liked it when people would
I didn't choose the name. The name chose me.
The life chose me.
That's pretty epic.
It was a pretty epic week.
Yeah. That's a pretty epic.
It's been a week.
It's been a week.
It's been a week since our last episode.
Yes, it has.
What'd you say?
I said it's been a week since our last episode.
Oh, wow. It's almost like we're on a schedule or something.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Tends to happen when you record.
Well, our YouTube channel's not. I don't know what type of schedule.
I actually did drop last week's episode on a reasonably.
You dropped on election day, right?
Yeah. I don't remember, man.
There's our Halloween special.
Dude, that was like 2 days ago or something. I don't know.
I know so much has happened.
I was on a schedule of dropping 3 like every like third weekend or whatever that was.
I say you say you, but I honestly think
2
it was
weeks.
I didn't send them to you.
You what?
Honestly, if I would have sent you the files, I think you would have done them.
Yeah, I
That
just
was the
kind of
only
didn't think
difference
about it, and so
this week.
then you just send me random emails with creepy audio
Those
files. I'm
emails
like, oh, okay,
titled.
cool. And I'm gonna decline to name the subject line that you send them with
Why?
because it's a little bit risque.
It's just a name.
It's just an.
Nice.
I'm gonna make it seem. You're just making it seem a lot worse than it is.
So we watched this cool movie called Amelie by Jean-Pierre Jeunet and
Amelie.
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 It's pronounced like me. Amelie. Yeah.
What
it was
about
good. I
Amelie?
enjoyed it.
Good one, Courage Lord.
Nice one.
That was a pretty funny joke.
Hey, that you got the joke wrong. It's Ayuli.
Oh right, yeah, it's Amelie or Amelie.
Maniac. Okay.
Whatever.
Anyway, what's Amelie about?
So basically, this it's centered around this girl or young woman, I should say, named Amelie, and it's about her life as she kind of grows. I don't know, kind of grows out and starts connecting a little bit more with the people around her. It was a kind of a comedy, kind of a love story. It was good. It was a fun time.
Mm-hmm.
And she basically like tries to do like nice things for other people, and she tries to. I don't know. She's there's like some weird parts. It seems kind of she's just controlling people.
She's very shy, but she wants to help people. So she does it in an indirect way, kind of so that she helps them and makes them feel better, but without them knowing who did it, why, or anything like that. And I think that does add to the movie. It makes it more interesting.
Yeah, she's not doing it because she wants something out of it. She just does it because she wants to be a nice person.
Yeah.
It's a pretty epic movie.
It is.
What'd you think of it, DJ Gothunk?
I thought it was really good. I feel like I didn't catch all of it. It's very fast paced.
It is.
It
I agree.
was. Yeah, it was surprisingly fast paced for
like a movie that doesn't have. It does have a plot, but it's like not the.
It's kind of a loose plot.
Yeah. But I feel like I didn't catch all of it, and then I was like, after it, I was like, that's a really good movie, and I was like, I probably should watch it again.
Yeah, I think it has some rewatchability.
Definitely.
I think so too.
I feel like there's probably some stuff that could go missed. Even
it is like it's like one of the most feel good movies I've ever seen.
I agree with
nice.
that. Yeah.
It's nice.
It is nice.
Enjoyable.
A movie all about the little things.
That's true. It is, and it has a nice happy ending for most people.
This was one of those. This is one of those judgment calls from above, I think. You know, like I don't know how I matched this week up with this, but I did it.
Yeah.
The higher ups just said,
yeah, it's very appropriate for the week.
My religion, it's not like monotheistic or whatever. It's a bureaucracy.
It's actually just a company, and I'm just like a
worker.
worker.
Yeah, I'm just a worker, and my God's my manager.
And he just tells me what needs to be due this week, and I take care of that.
Nice.
I don't ask questions, you know?
Yeah. I would.
Anyway, this was a French language film. its production was French and German, but it was in French, and it was placed in Paris, specifically Montmartre region of Paris.
Body.
Yeah, that's the first. Well, I was about to say it was the first French movie we watched, but a couple weeks ago we watched a Canadian movie, which is still French. So yeah.
The French was very different, wasn't it?
You know what's pretty cool, guys? This was the
Fast.
second French movie we watched.
Next to
Yeah.
Incendie.
Get it? Because we watched Incendies.
Technically, it's the first French movie we watched.
Get it?
Yeah.
It's not.
They're different dialects.
It might have actually been produced by France. We don't know.
I don't know. That's not for us to decide. We're not high enough on the
It's
corporate
for
ladder.
you to decide. You, lovely viewer, listener. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, that was me mimicking you, the viewer. How does it feel?
I don't really know where this is going. Should we just let him keep going?
They've got all these characters.
Mhm.
Okay. So something I know something to talk about. So this week we watched a movie. We watched this. What's the director's name? Jean-Pierre
Jean-Pierre
Jeunet. And we watched. I've seen one other movie from him, and I would say this movie is a adult film that sort of masquerades as like a children's film. And the other movie that I've seen from him is a children's film masquerading as an adult film. Because there's like a ton of like, it's like a very obviously, this one's different because it's very obviously like intended for an adult audience. But his other movie, it didn't feel like that. It felt like it was like a kid's movie, but like there was nudity in it, so I was like, oh, obviously like it's not a kids movie, I guess. There also might be a little bit of cultural difference. But what did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of like the mood, like the childlike mood?
I thought it was very. I thought it expressed kind of Amelie's. I don't know, her state of mind. I don't know if that's like the right way of putting it, but you could understand kind of how she sees the world.
Yeah, I agree with
because
that.
I think like shyness and introvertedness maybe comes with a little bit of like being a little bit naive about like maybe, I don't know if naive's the right word, but she probably hasn't had to or hasn't thought about or been deeply invested with grappling like with a lot of the issues that might push some people to see the world as kind of like a dark place. So she's still got the childlike mentality of, oh, the world's a great place, and I'm just going to do these nice things for people. And I don't know. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, she's naive, and because of her lack of exposure to the outside world. We didn't explain this, but she was stuck in her home because her father believed that she had a heart condition that she did not, and she was not able to go to school and meet other children and play. She was kind of restricted to her house and her family.
Yes. Who were kind of weird.
So that changed her development and had an impact on her personality in the later life, which leads to the plot of the movie. Yes.
I also want to mention that there's a good amount of kind of darkness that is at the like borders or edges that kind of weaves itself through the childlikeness that definitely makes it an adult film. That kind of nags at like her kind of childlike reality, but I think that was really interesting ways of kind of working in like the darker sides of the real world with the
That is a
Yep.
good point. I agree with that. There's a lot of very adult themes in the movie. Like right at the beginning, I'm gonna say this because it's not spoilers. Her mother dies by somebody committing suicide off of Notre Dame and landing on her, and that's obviously very adult, but it's
I think,
kind of
and to me, like the biggest thing is Amelie is standing like right next to her as this happens too. So like,
exactly.
if you think about it, she's like watched her own mother die, and
Yeah, there's
not able to to talk with anybody about it because then her father goes like super introverted and
there's a obvious like trauma to the whole like film. Like a lot of the like the way Amelie or like the reason Amelie the way she is because of like how she grew up and like she's very isolated and she had to watch her mother die, so she's like kind of awkward and like that goes into what makes her happy. Like you sort of do these things that make you happy because like that's another big thing in the movie is these it's Amelie's like focused on the little things that make people happy. And like with each character, they're introduced and then like it shows like what they like to do. So it might be like popping bubble wrap or something. And it seems to suggest that each of their little things is like linked to a sort of trauma. Like the kid with the marbles, and then
oh yeah,
he ends up picking up like pictures and trying to put them together. I don't know. That was my interpretation. I don't know if that is what it is.
yeah. I think that's a good interpretation of it.
Yeah,
I didn't really
definitely.
think about him in the marbles, but yeah, because they both have some like trauma, and it talks about how they both were like sat at home and didn't go to school with the other kids.
Yeah.
So there's like a level of connection that kind of goes with them.
Very cool.
Yeah.
How did you guys like it? What did you guys give it? Out of 10.
I think I'd give it a 9.5. I really liked it. It was very good. It was funny and feel good, and also, I mean, can we explained her trauma in the early years and haven't talked much about the comedy, so going from her mom dying next to her to happy, funny, and feel good is pretty extreme. But that's pretty much the first quarter of the movie, and then the rest is quite nice.
Yeah.
And it stems from the beginning directly, but it's a very good, like, the best way it could have ended up possibly, and it was very nice. 9.5. How about you, GeenLeen?
I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. I also liked it quite a good amount, and it was very had some good funny stuff in there, and I really liked how the like we were talking about how the darker, more adult themes were kind of casually interwoven. I think it made it it made it definitely seem more real for sure because life isn't, as a child sees. And like you said, it has a happy ending, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on throughout it that's fun, and I don't know. We were all laughing and having a good time with it, so I enjoyed it.
I gave it a 8 out of 10, but I think it's close to a 9. I think I need to see it again. There's just so much going on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I really liked it. It's feel good. It's enjoyable through and through. It's just what the doctor ordered. Do we have any trivia?
Oh, I forgot to look for some. I'm
I've
sorry.
got some pulled up. I
What
do
the
have
heck?
one.
What? How are we supposed to have trivia time without trivia?
I do
Come
have
on.
one off the top of my head. It's the director. I think he was making a movie after this one, and he was at the cafe that's in the film that she works at, and I think he like was outside like filming something, and someone came up to him and was like, "Hey, can you take my picture in front of the Amelie cafe?" And he was like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "I like made this movie, you know." I don't know. I read that a long time ago, and I hadn't seen it yet, so I didn't really understand it. So
That's
I don't.
cool.
Yeah, got that correct.
Yeah, I don't know if I have any. I'm sorry.
This one's pretty cool. The Jean-Pierre Jeunet and the crew would clean up the area of debris and like litter so that it looked a lot more fantastical and less like a real city.
Ooh.
I didn't even think about that though, because
I
there's a
didn't
lot
really
of
think
like
about it either, but yeah.
city shots, and then it looks so clean.
Because I was gonna say, her like when she finds the box in the wall, her like entire apartment and her like bathroom is like spotless, and I feel like it wouldn't be like that. I don't know.
Yeah. That's interesting. Everything is nothing to clean, nothing dirty. I didn't realize that. That's a very interesting one.
Yeah,
I think that's a really good way of making it seem more childlike, though. I think that was.
Definitely. Yeah. That really
yeah.
contributes to that.
I always think about. Do you ever walk around like on Guad and you're like, this is so dirty.
I don't know.
Whenever I
Yeah.
think of like walking in a city, I always think of that. I always think of West Campus. Just like
Yeah.
the trashiest thing. And there's just
Yeah,
so
I
much
did
grime and
notice
stuff.
a lot of grime and trash up there.
And it's just I don't know. What a great community though.
Mhm.
You know?
I
Really
do
like
know.
What'd you guys think of the like in the imagination sequences? It would show like black and white film and they'd put the characters in it. And it'd be these kind of like wild set pieces. Like they were like, oh, and he'd like had these nuclear warheads, and it showed the love interest.
Are you talking about when she's like, there's one or two reasons why he's late.
Yeah,
Either he didn't get the message, or he got into a bus crash, and then he was mistaken as like a
fugitive.
fugitive, and then he was chased down and thrown in jail. But then the plane crashed, and now he's living as a like goat herder in
No, he was
Iran or
like,
something like
and now
that.
he's in Afghanistan and he's working for the Russians. And he
Yeah,
has all these warheads, and it shows him doing all these things, and it shows him with like a Russian warhead, and he's like, ah. I just thought that part was. I thought it was so weird because it was like,
didn't
it,
make any sense.
Well, no, I liked that because I liked the whole like whimsical nature. I liked it because it was like they probably I don't know how they did that. I don't know if they like cut his face in or like edited the background over it, or if they set up like that whole set with the warhead and everything. And I was just like, this is really cool. That's like the whole movie is just like it's like there's not a lot to talk about just because like there's so much like it's just so in the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
And like
There's not a lot to talk about because there's so much to talk about.
there's not like a big plot, but it's like there's so much that goes on. And
Yeah,
like
if we tried
there's
to,
so many sequences like that where it's like really well done because they use some like camera techniques. Someone called it a kaleidoscope. They described the movie as like a kaleidoscope.
there are some parts that might seem like that. Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty much it. It's just like
It's just a mess. No.
I wouldn't even say it's not even a mess, it's just
No, it's
or like
not.
the sequence where she like gives him the message and he has to follow all the blue arrows.
Yeah.
And it's very convoluted, but it's like really sweet and like everything's
So
cool.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're glad that you joined us this week. Sweet
Mhm.
viewer, I'm sorry I made fun of you in the middle of the show.
That
I
was
shouldn't have
quite
done that.
rude. And frankly,
But
I'm never watching again.
if you want to come back, we got a special guest next week
Oh boy.
if everything goes all right.
If everything goes all right.
Um,
Where are we going
and
next week?
we're just going a little north to Germany.
Germany.
And then I think we are going a little bit out of order, but
North. Germany? France? Nah.
maybe it's
I was
like
gonna say
East.
Germany is not.
is it
Germany's
east?
not
Maybe
north.
a
That's
tiny bit north.
north
but
of
east.
France is England.
I'm not thinking about it correct.
You can say that
Like
again.
northeast, right?
It's much more east than
yeah,
north.
it's
but,
mostly east.
like if you went east from Paris, or if you went north from Paris, you would not run into Germany.
No, you would not
Oh,
definitely.
okay.
You would run into Germany though if you
I
were
don't know
east.
that much about
If you
Germany.
went.
Classic.
But anyway, we're watching Run Lola Run.
Run,
I don't
Lola,
know
run.
anything about it.
Exciting.
But yeah.
Hey
So,
Lola. Run.
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 It's like it's based off of Go Dogs Go.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
I'm gonna keep that joke in and everyone's gonna laugh.
Okay.
I don't get it.
It's
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.